loading snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Loaded Snacks Anime Chat Podcast. Your student council is back for more discussions about anime that we like to do. First off, I want to start with, how's everybody doing? How are both of you doing today?
Doing wonderful.
Doing wonderful. Like to hear that. Good. What about you, Gabs?
Yes.
Okay. And now before we get started with the news, Gab, who is our plushie of the week this week?
Solid question.
Oh, can't hear Gabby.
How about now?
That's better. Okay.
Okay, I must have hit a button. This is Little Gouda.
Little Gouda.
He's a grilled cheese.
I'm assuming Gouda cheese.
Gotta be.
Yes. And that is the name that he came with, if I'm remembering correctly. I got him like a year ago, so. But
I remember.
It's
Good name for him.
It's very squishy. It's not his first time on this show.
No,
but
no. We're making it official now.
You can tell he's loved because I've fallen asleep on him and there's mascara stains on his head that I cannot get off.
Mascara on the Gouda cheese sandwich, okay?
You know, he's loved. I have pictures of him making a grilled cheese because I'm just like to be. I think it's fun.
Okay.
I made a grilled cheese and like put the spatula next to him and then took pictures of it like he was making it. I was really bored one weekend.
Do you still have those?
I do.
We could post them on our incoming IG. We could post them there with little
yes.
Gouda. Yeah. Little Gouda making the grilled cheese. That's fun.
Plushy content.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So Noah, we got a lot to talk about this week. So first up on the docket, what do we need to know about this week?
All right, y'all. We have got so much anime news this week and so much exciting news. I felt like a kid in a candy shop all week.
As you was rolling them into the chat, I was getting excited.
Oh, yeah.
There is some great stuff that happened at Anime Expo, along with other announcements from the Shonen Jump event that happened in Japan. So we've got a lot of announcements, but let's go through them. We'll go through a couple quicker than others and try and not take up too much time. So first things first is solo leveling news.
Ha! Shocker!
I knew it.
That's what you said. That's what you said
when I wrote this down, I was like, Gabby's gonna be like, she knew it.
I knew it. I'm on a roll with predicting stuff recently.
That's easy with solo level. You just gotta call it.
That's true.
Well, to be fair, they did announce. This is what I was talking about last week. I said the next news should be like some anime news because they made an announcement that news will be coming at Anime Expo.
Yeah.
So this one is actual, like not record break or anything like that. Solo Leveling is announcing they're releasing an RPG game, which we all know a lot of y'all might be confused out there because they just announced the game previously.
Yeah,
but that was RPG.
I haven't played it for console. It is an RPG, but it's more of like a it is an RPG. It's just like not like a super involved RPG. But that one was, I haven't played it myself, but it was more of a port of the game that already exists on mobile. So that being said, this one dropped a little tiny trailer. Maybe actually I'll send you some footage of it, but they dropped a little tiny trailer and it looks, you know what I mean? Looks cool. Got to see more of it first, but just a bunch of scenes from the anime animated or scenes from the manhwa.
Is there any scenes from the game or just?
Yeah. It was all, that's what I'm saying. Animated in the game form.
Okay.
It's got all different points.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll see what that consists of, but that's really cool.
It's good to keep my eye on. Yes, for some gaming. That's cool.
That's right. Next on the list, Giguk, who is known as Garnt, who is known as Giguk, who is one of the 3 members of Trash Taste. Y'all know out there, or y'all at least know, Trash Taste, my favorite podcast on YouTube. And they started out doing anime, and all 3 of them do anime centered content. But as they got bigger on YouTube, they do like more Japan or like whatever style of YouTube content. And Giguk is the one who still does the most anime content. He's probably the biggest anime YouTuber on YouTube. He just announced that he is releasing his own official anime that he decided for him that he's funding completely himself.
Awesome. Congrats.
Bon. Bon is an anime that he pitched to the company that he did some work for called Twin Engine, which is the company, one of the producing companies on the committee for Vinland Saga and a couple other things. and he did some work with them when he did an interview. If anybody's seen his channel before, he did an interview. It's like his most seen video with the author of Vinland Saga. So fast forward, he got an opportunity to pitch his anime idea to them, and eventually it got accepted, and it got denied at first, and then later it got accepted. I listened to him. He did a story on the podcast this week, and he just showed a bunch of things of what it took to get it done, and he's completely self-funding it. So originally he gave them a budget, and he was like, how much would this get me, like, time, because it's going to be a short film, it's not going to be a full anime. And basically he gave them out a budget, and they were like, you'd get 10 minutes, and so with that budget, and so he was like, okay, double it. So basically it came out to a 20-minute short story, which is going to be a short film, which is coming out, which is still cool. It's been a dream of his to have his own anime one day, and he watches a whole bunch like we do. He watches a lot of isekai and stuff like that as well, like he watches all anime. So he's a good person to make it, and he said that they'll be creating merch, so hopefully they won't be in the super red, which they're working with another member on Trash Taste who has his own clothing brand, and he's going to help them design some stuff.
That's nice.
Awesome.
Merch for it. So I'm going to buy some merch because I hope he does well. I want to support him a little bit, so I'm going to buy some merch and check out the anime, because this is dope, and I genuinely hope it's successful. The story is about, as far as I know from what I heard, it's about Thai mythology, and the girl, the design and everything is Thai because he's Thai, but it's still a Japanese anime, but it's Thai coded. So so it'll be something to look forward to. There's a lot he talked about on it, and I talk about it more, but we got a lot of stuff to cover. But some cool things that he said was go ahead, Lo.
No, so we'll definitely keep our eye out for it. You know what I mean, and make sure that we watch it when it comes out for sure.
I'm gonna go check out the podcast episode myself to hear all his details about it, because that's amazing. So I want to know more about the project.
Yeah. So he talked about some things that were just interesting, that give you insight on the industry, like what it took to get it approved. And initially he was thinking about how to get it approved, and one of his thoughts was, well, it's an anime, I gotta use a female character. That highlights my opportunity of getting it approved more, because that's what people look for in anime more so. So little stuff like that shows you that sometimes maybe some of these writers didn't even want to make things a certain way, but they were trying to fit the mold. And then now that they're there. He talked about how his character is 19, but the character looks 16 is what the other people said. Honestly, I haven't judged it for myself, but I'll send y'all a picture of it right now, of the cover art for it. And one thing that's interesting about this is he said that he found it funny that a lot of people online are always talking about characters and what their age represents and stuff like that. And he said he realized a lot of the time that wasn't in his head at all. Like his idea for making it appear the exact age is really difficult, but that wasn't in his head. So then he asked them to say, what do you think like the age of this girl looks like? And they were both like 16, which I could agree with, I guess. And
I mean, honestly, she could be 16, she could be 19. I looked the same between 16 and 19. You don't really change a lot. At least
that's
girls,
what they
we
were
don't.
saying too.
He looks
So
older
girls are
too.
like done growing by the time they're like 16, besides like facial features. So it's like but he said that something interesting was, he said that just getting that age right was something that wasn't really in his concern. He was just making sure that the character represented what it was supposed to represent, because this was all new to him. So he was figuring that out, and then it made him realize a lot of authors probably aren't thinking about this, because anime characters in that art style, if they're not drawn in like the 4 tiers, which is like kid, young adult, middle age, old person, if they're not drawn in those tiers, then the age, even in those tiers, the age could be anywhere. You know what I mean? So that's something that I found interesting that he talked about. So it's cool. If y'all want, go check out Trash Taste.
these
They're
designs
really
are
dope.
so good. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
He
are.
worked with the director. I forgot. Let me see if I have. They don't have an announcement date, but he worked really hard to get it done by Anime Expo because then the team allowed him to have the announcement on Anime Expo. So
Okay.
he's got the
Oh, awesome.
studio. Um, the studio. I forget what the studio's name is. Let's look it up real quick. Hang on. He got a studio, and the director like worked on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Because once it's picked up, then you know what I mean, the talent comes in.
Mhm.
So, you know what I mean? The studio that they were working with, I guess, helped them. I can't remember exactly, but is it with 2 A's or 1 A?
2 A's.
2 A's.
Okay. I can't even remember exactly how he said, yeah, they've got some of the staff. So they already have the voice actors here.
Oh, awesome.
So like, yeah, the
Awesome.
voice actor is done. Oh yeah, I've seen this. She did she was the girl in Fruit Master. So that's gonna be his MC.
Oh, she was really
And
good.
Jinwoo's sister. Yeah.
Very
Oh, okay.
nice.
And Pikachu at one point. So the now that it's picked up by the committee or the studio, but it's
Right.
funded by him, so it probably doesn't have a committee. Then yeah, his picture's on there as original creator. Now the talent comes in from the studio that already
Right.
works for the studio. So the director is Oashi, that's his name. Oashi, and he's worked on Full Metal Alchemist storyboard, Haikyuu for storyboard, original Trigun storyboard,
Very nice.
Vampire Hunter D, like
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah, he's got a track history. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got some good
This
stuff.
was really cool. And then the music is done by one of my three favorite composers, which is a Naruto composer, Hiroyuki Sawano, who does Attack on Titan, and Made in Abyss composer, Kevin Penkin, which happens to be friends with him. So as I was listening, I was like, please tell me Kevin did the music. And then at the end, he was like, oh, and the music's done by Kevin Penkin. I was like, bro,
Awesome.
good.
That's
So,
fantastic.
That is shaping up
mhm.
the sound. That's sounding really dope.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
sounding really
so
good.
just some things to say that's really dope. I'm looking
Kudos.
forward to that.
Yeah.
Moving on quickly, the beginning after the end had a better debut on Crunchyroll than Lord of the Mysteries.
At least because you could understand the beginning after the end. Lord of Mysteries, you're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, huh?
Yeah, this is pretty, but what the hell is happening?
It's just I
Uh,
saw a post where somebody was like, it broke the internet. I was like, no internet was broken, brother.
No.
Not
I'm
even a
like,
little
y'all are
bit.
literally
No.
just saying stuff you wish was true, and it didn't happen.
It
No.
broke absolutely nothing.
I'm like, it was cool, but nah, it wasn't enough to break the internet.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No. So it just it had a better debut by likes, so I thought that was funny. Next we have Black Clover returns. How long have we been talking about this in this pod? Every
Forever.
week?
Since the
I've been
podcast
giving
started.
Payrod updates. I've been giving Payrod updates every week. Talking about it may be this. They said next year. They said a new studio.
And finally, we have the confirmation Black Clover
here.
is returning.
It's here.
We
So
weren't supposed to
happy.
get any announcements from Payrod till 2026. So that was just a lie. They made that statement a few
Yay.
weeks ago.
I just want to see more of my little demon.
Not only does Black Clover return,
Mhm.
I sent y'all the picture of the key visual. That has to be
Yeah.
the hardest key
Yeah.
visual I have ever seen in anime.
It is.
Y'all see it on the screen. That
Yeah.
key visual is hard as hell.
Chef
Like,
kiss.
what?
I love it so
Yes.
much.
My boy Asta sitting there with the aura and the dark form and the demon form with the
Mhm.
clouds and that is the hardest key visual
It
I've
is
ever seen, bro.
beautiful.
I've gotta say.
So happy this is coming back.
It
I
has so
know,
much
I
impact.
can't believe it. Twitter is in an explosion.
It deserves it.
Absolutely.
It deserves it. Yeah.
It does. My boy Asta coming back. I wonder how long they're gonna do, because like I said, for people who don't know, Black Clover was running for over 100 episodes with no break. They might have had like a short delay or a 2-week break,
Yep.
but they had no longer than a few week break for 100 episodes, and that was the last anime to do that. On previous episodes, I've talked about how that was the last anime to do that, along with Boruto. And so now Payrod has announced they're creating a new studio. They're going to be using new formulas. So seeing Bleach, I honestly think it'll come back in seasons. Hopefully they drop 24 episode seasons, and that would be great, because there's still a lot of Black Clover to go through. So
None of that
that'd be
12
awesome.
episode stuff. Please.
I
give
don't
me
Yeah, it was
even
170
allow.
episodes it ran for.
Yeah.
That's
I don't.
amazing.
Did it run for 170? Because I think it took a break and then came back and then canceled. I
There
think
was
it
there
stopped
was a
around
small
130.
break. Yeah.
Then yeah, it's a total of
Yeah,
170 episodes though. Okay.
Yeah, because it ran took a break, came back for those episodes, and concluded when Payrod announced it was going to be canceled with the movie, which came like a few years later. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Next we have Cyberpunk, our favorite sad, depressing anime, has been announced for a continuation sequel.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. I heard rumors about this. I didn't know if it was going to actually be a continuation, though. So
it's a continuation that's why I say continuation sequel, because it's a continuation in the verse, but it's a sequel because we had a little mini trailer.
That's just a weird way to phrase it. Continuation sequel.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because we have a little trailer. I wasn't going to show the trailer because it's so short, but it basically says David's dead. It doesn't say anything about what's her name? Not Rebecca, the other girl, his love interest. It doesn't say anything about her. And then there's a little tiny figure in the key visual that y'all can see on screen, and that has a character that doesn't look like Rebecca or anyone. So I'm thinking it's the same verse in a different time, and maybe the girl is like a side character or something like that.
Okay.
That's why I say continuation sequel, because it's a sequel to the series and a continuation in the verse, but it's not a number 2. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we got a grim message from the author. He's Polish, and he said, "I want more sadness."
No, bro, that was enough. You hit us in the fields with the first one.
He said, and I quote, "I want more sad." You crazy Polish?
Well, we're screwed.
He also said that, and don't quote me. I have the tweet somewhere. Maybe
but also, this is my kind of guy. Never mind. Hold on.
And if you haven't seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners before, go check it out. It is really, really good.
I can't remember the author's name. We got so much to go through. I'll just say that he said, in Poland, a lot of people are sad all the time. So I want to make more people sad, because when everyone else is sad, it makes me a little happy. And I'm like, I feel like you tried to do something there, but you didn't.
You just want to put depression and misery upon the rest of the world.
Just make the anime. We'll watch it. You don't got to say anything.
I was gonna say we're already gonna be sad. We gravitate towards the sad parts. Why do you think I've watched specific One Piece movie like over and over again, where they all die?
5. I'm about to say probably 5.
It's 5. I've craved.
So y'all who know, I might have said a spoiler, but sorry if you haven't seen it by now. It's anime of the year, so it's popular enough to where you should have seen it. Go watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Definitely one of the saddest endings in anime that I've seen. And it's not even like it's not necessarily it's not necessarily a death that makes something sad. It's like the way they do it and the impact it has and what was the goals behind it. And the way that boy just lost himself, and he was so close to having everything perfect, and he just lost himself.
Yep.
It was so sad.
It slipped away in that one moment.
Yep. But moving on, Tokyo Ghoul has announced an anime movie. This new movie will be compiled of episodes 1, 5, 8, 10, 11, and 12 from season 1, which is actually amazing because season 1 is godly. Those are probably all of the peak episodes. And it'll be
just
updated animation.
Series.
Thank you.
Listen,
Gabby,
at this point, they're trolling us because yes, I agree. They totally that they should redo the series.
Yeah, with episodes 1, 12, 13, 2, 7. Like,
however,
just remake it.
This being another Payrot production, who is once again, I've told y'all how many times they have ruined good series.
Yes, it's Payrot.
Payrot, is working on Bleach and now Black Clover and possibly Boruto as well. So this might be their budget. This might be them saying, we need some extra money. Everyone loves Tokyo Ghoul. Let's drop something quick and make a few milli. You know what I mean? Which I'm like, if you drop the anime, this is one of the most popular series. People will love it. This is a one non-anime watchers watch. So this is I definitely think that it would be dope to see that. But that being said, I'm still hyped to see that because the first season is where was some really good anime. So,
but how are they gonna do it? So it's basically just those random episodes in a movie format.
Well, I don't think it's random. I'm pretty sure they picked, and it'll probably be like the key points, and compile it into like a 2.5 hour movie. And it says it's coming out in theaters in July 20th, I think actually. So will these be global theaters or not? I don't know. Should we go see it? Absolutely. Moving on. JoJo, the anime staff, claims everyone is worried about the horses they have to draw for Steel Ball Run. We also got a staff announcement, and it's going to be the same staff as Golden Wind, which is amazing. Studio David, I believe, does an incredible job on the series. And I'm worried about the damn horses too. What do me and Benny always talk about? We literally talked about this like last week. It says Benny, my buddy, said, I used to judge how good your anime is based on water. I know I'm gonna be clear from CG if I see the water, but he's like, nah, I need to see the horses. If the horses is bad, I know we're cooked. And that was something we talked about 2 days before I saw this. So I'm worried too. I hope they do a good job. I hope they don't do CG. I haven't read this, but I've heard from people. Connor of Trash Taste loves this, and he said there's gonna need a lot of CG. So I don't know what happens, but it must be a lot of movement and horses.
CG horses, here we come.
As long as it looks good, CG's getting better. Moving on, Junji Ito has announced his next anime.
I'm ready.
Me too, because despite the popular opinion, I really liked Circles. What was it called? Spirals, Naruto.
Spirals.
Uzumaki.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. I was getting there. I'm finding it.
He says circles.
I'm finding
spiral. You were going. You just had to cut up the circle.
Uzumaki. So Junji Ito announced his new anime, and yes, Circles Uzumaki had bad animation after episode 1, but the story was still really creepy and made me feel stuff, and that's what I like in anime. This one's called Crimson. It looks creepy. I haven't read anything about it. I don't think we have an announcement or date or release or anything, but knowing it's a Junji Ito production, we'll find out much more soon. Next, One Punch Man Season 3 announced no new info at Anime Expo, even though they had an entire panel with a giant, like, cardboard cutouts of the characters and everything. A whole panel, a TV that says AX.
What was the panel?
One Punch Man scenes, like a I'm sorry, not like a panel, like a booth, a display booth.
Okay.
Like a display area of just all One Punch Man stuff. And they didn't announce anything for season 3. It's worrisome. Season 3 is 3 months away. We have no staff, no trailer. I said this before when we saw that one abysmal trailer. I also, nobody trusts JC staff because they did the second season, which everyone claims didn't have nearly as good animation as first season, which it didn't. First season was Madhouse. They make Frieren, Overlord, stuff like that. So Madhouse is incredible. It is nerve-wracking. Here I have from Kyle Herbert, who is Atomic Samurai's voice actor, English. He says on a TikTok live that they haven't called him to do any voice work, which means the voices haven't even been done yet, and it's 3 months away until the anime.
That's scary. So it's not going to make it in time. I don't think it's going to make it in time.
TikTok goes the clock.
Whoever has the rights, whatever committee is in charge of One Punch Man needs to give it to someone else, bro, because the fans have been waiting so long, and this series would pop in every sense of the word if done by like 12 different studios could handle it in the right way by just putting all their efforts into it. That would definitely make a return. And it's ridiculous because it's always waits, delays, studio changes. The committee in charge needs to give it to a different one. That's what I think.
Get that committee out of there.
Yeah,
but hopefully,
because 3 months away, it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, and this is a very large title. Once again, this is one of the titles that was on Solo Leveling popularity when it dropped. We didn't have, and people might disagree out there, but no, we didn't have like anime memes and stuff. Anime was still a little bit niche. So as far as like anime watchers and people who kind of watch but seen Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, this was on the level. The people who told me about this didn't watch anime, and I did, and I didn't know about it at the time. So this was a really popular. So it's like, the fact that we haven't seen anything is worrisome because these type of titles usually you see months and months and almost a year in advance. So we got the announcement for season 3 like 2 years ago. So
and quiet ever since.
Yep.
Well, not quiet, but just not enough for us to be thinking it won't be mediocre. Next we have Wistoria Wand and Shield season 2 is announced for 2026.
Yes.
My boy Mike Will made it.
Yes.
You watched this one, Gabby?
Yeah, it was really good.
This one was amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the best swordplay and animation action we got last year, along with Frieren and Danmachi. Definitely
were amazing.
Some of the best. So we're really excited for that. Aaliyah Sometimes Hides Her Feeling in Russian is also scheduled season 2 for 2026.
Really? Didn't see that coming. Okay, that's pleasant.
No, it was already announced for season 2. We just didn't get a date yet. They announced for season 2 right away. or like a month after. This one goes along with 3 romance anime of the last like 5 years that have really piqued my interest because their concept. And this one's actually a rather simple one of the 3, but it's just the concept of guys in love with girl. But when he was younger, if people don't know, a lot of Russian girls migrate to Japan and vice versa. So they end up having a lot of Russian Japanese babies that live there, and they're known to be really beautiful. And so this dude had a girl friend who was, when he was younger, he spoke Japanese. She taught him Russian, and then he grows up. A different girl who I thought was the same girl, it's not the same girl, who also speaks Russian and Japanese, now goes to his school, but she expresses her feelings in Russian out loud, but she doesn't know that he knows Russian. So she's like a tsundere, but she's basically confessing her love in her head to him openly, and he just doesn't. She understands, but she doesn't know he understands. So he's just having this normal relationship with this tsundere, and she thinks she's being a tsundere, but the whole time she's confessing her love to him all day, every day.
And he understands.
It's a great concept. Yep, I'd say that one, Apothecary Diaries, and this concept today. I was thinking about it today of this new anime, which I'll tell you about later. The Delinquent Flowers one. Next we have Apothecary Diaries. Speaking of, sequel announced, season 3.
Awesome.
So that's exciting. I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I will get on it.
So good. The animation just gets better and better, and the story just gets better and better. As we get really into. With these stories, they start out simple and then they go into like sometimes semi-political stuff, like rising through the ranks, concubines, because that's the kind of period it's set in. They get really into that stuff, and you get more into Momo's like apothecary stuff as well.
I'm a Kingdom
like
fan. I love that stuff.
I was just thinking, I was like, oh, this could be a sad story of Kingdom.
Yep. The
no, but that's why I
poisons
liked
and
it.
the things and the the masks and the medicines. And it's just so good. You're gonna love it.
Hell yeah. And it had one of my favorite intros of when the first season come out last year, 2 years ago. I think the first season came out maybe. It had one of my favorite intros of that year for sure.
It was beautiful.
Along with the mini Kenshin intros. To Your Eternity season 3 comes out in October 2025 this year. And I'm very interested on the cover art. Once again, I haven't read this, but I've watched this and I love this series. He's in Tokyo, like in modern day. So in the second season, he goes by like 1,000 years or something like that at the start of the second season. So I guess he went by another 1,000 years to the third season. And it ends in
caught up to now.
day.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That actually makes you want to go back and go finally watch season 2 just to get caught up, knowing that he'll be in modern times.
You should. I told you, season 2 is not sad like first. It has some sad moments, but it's not. Season 1 was all sad to develop his character, but it was really sad. Yeah. Frieren season 2 airs in January 2026, which is at the end of this year. We heard it was coming in 26, but we didn't hear it was coming
January
year.
That's tough.
Yes.
The GOAT returns.
We was thinking maybe next October or something.
Right, yeah, something later in the year. But
Madhouse, I told you.
Starting off at the top.
Madhouse is good.
They back.
Which means I'm gonna have to do another run before season 2 starts dropping.
We also have a trailer for it. The last thing I have is, did y'all look at the Kenshin tributes that I sent y'all?
Yes.
So pull those pictures up and then look at the names from left to right and tell me who's y'all's favorites are, or give me like top 2 if you can't pick.
Okay, let's see.
I'll tell you, my favorites are Hirokoshi's from My Hero and Kishi's from oh, this is sorry, Lo. I was thinking about this too, but this is a little editing from a little extra editing work for you. But I'm gonna name out each one, and I'm helping you out. I'm gonna send the name of each one and the picture visually to you. Don't worry.
It'll make my life a billion times easier.
But for people who see them on the screen, and as I say them, let's see. We have the first one shows the one done by Oda from One Piece. The second one is Togashi from Hunter x Hunter. Third one is Hirokoshi from My Hero. Fourth one is Kishimoto from Naruto. The fifth one is Ishida, Tokyo Ghoul. The sixth one is Murata from One Punch Man. The seventh is Inoue from Vagabond Slam Dunk. The last one is Arakai from JoJo's.
I think My Hero might be my favorite one.
I really like Murata's from One Punch Man, but
Murata's amazing.
Hirokoshi's is definitely second for me.
We all know Hirokoshi has some of the best art in manga,
Oh
so
yeah,
that's no
he's
surprise. His
fantastic.
character, it even looks like a My Hero manga character.
Hmm.
But I thought it was funny because Oda didn't. Oda, you ain't even try, boy. That is Nami with a scar.
Yes,
What
it
is
really
that? That
is.
is
It
Nami.
really is. I was
Oda
like,
said,
where have
"I'm
I
too
seen her
busy for this.
before?
This is
Yeah,
Nami with a
that's
scar."
familiar. Oh,
So this was done
honestly,
for the
JoJo wasn't doesn't have much effort either. There's like nothing.
yeah. He definitely just did that on a napkin.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Most expensive napkin ever.
Kishimoto and Hirokoshi are my favorites. They are generational artists, and it's always crazy to me that you can write a story so good and also be such a good artist. Like those two talents just falling together is crazy.
Yeah.
One help bring the other one to life. Yeah.
Yeah, Togashi.
Ishida's one is really pretty with the colors. I like the way that he blended a lot of them. It almost looks like a watercolor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good too. Everyone knows Tokyo Ghoul art is amazing.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Togashi's is really cool. I actually just read Yu Yu Hakusho, and it looks like Kurama,
Hmm.
but a
Kind of does.
Kenshin version. So that's dope. Um, this was to celebrate 30-year anniversary of Kenshin, and we're not even gonna say artist name, author's name, because unfortunately I
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
respect for him
Yeah.
for
We
a
don't
little
we
bit
don't
of
mess
his
with him.
past.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little confused as to why the series still gets that much praise, even though that happened. It's probably happened a little too early
Yeah.
before people were aware enough. But what I will say is that I love Kenshin. Unfortunately,
So do I.
unfortunately, the transgressions of the author don't represent themselves at all in the manga. So I
Hmm.
Yeah.
feel pretty comfortable still
Still
reading and
supporting it.
enjoying it
Yeah.
because it's actually one of the least sexualized, like popular series in existence. I don't think there's any sexualization in it at all. So that being said,
So it's very little.
Yeah.
yes. And last but not least, moving on, we have a Bleach Core 4 new key visual. That,
Ooh.
sorry, y'all, shows a little bit of a spoiler because that's definitely Ichigo's final form.
Yeah.
Y'all saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you sent it
I've
to me,
got
Y'all
it
yeah.
up
saw?
right now looking at it.
Okay. It looks really dope. But if you got spoiled, I don't know. That sucks. But Jump Force did have this form in the game. So I was wondering what the hell I was looking at too when I played Jump Force. So,
What is this? Okay.
yeah. They actually put a manga form in the game.
Hmm.
So that's all the news we have from there. And that's all the news we have.
Whew. Thank you for that long, intense batch of news, from trailers to stuff we're extremely excited about seeing coming in the near future. So, with the exception of One Punch Man, we don't know if it's actually coming. But regardless, we're excited. So, Gabby, what do you have us to talk about this week?
Today we are going to talk about um, kind of different debates, obviously, which is what we typically talk about with anime topics. But specifically, I want to know y'all's opinions on debates in anime that you don't really think should be debates because they're kind of pointless.
Like Sanji versus Zoro.
Yes, Sanji versus Zoro, Sasuke versus Zoro, Goku being
Sakura is worthless.
Goku versus Saitama, comparing people comparing Nobara to Sakura, the Naruto versus JJK comparison, who would win in a fight, topics. Go.
Okay. You go first, Lo.
Well, like I said, the one I probably hate the most, the whole Sakura's pointless one,
Mm.
because she's clearly not pointless. Like they couldn't finish everything if it wasn't for her at the very end. Like she had to bring everybody back to life. She's one of the biggest healers that they have at the war at the time. Like I don't get the whole pointless. I get it in Naruto. I get it there. But when she stepped her game up in Shippuden, that conversation should go out the window and it should be tossed out, period, in my opinion.
All right, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay, go ahead.
Which I love Sakura, y'all. She's the only one who had no family lineage. She's plot armor.
Doesn't change the fact that she wasn't worthless. Just because she didn't have a family lineage.
Still plot armor.
She got it from the mud.
No Everybody else had a lineage. Every single character that was strong had some way of having that power from something else. It's kind of Naruto's thing. Sakura didn't have one.
And look at where she's at now without having that.
Her only good fight was stringed up to Chiyo.
That was a tough fight. Still, doesn't
I would
mean
not
she was
say
worthless.
that's her only good fight.
All right, she had the Shin fight in Boruto. I'll give you that.
As an early Naruto lover, honestly, my favorite fight to this day is still the one in Naruto where
Sakura
they're
and
in the
Ino?
tuning exams.
Don't
And
say
she has
that
to
fight, 'cause that
protect.
fight is ass.
I don't care. That showed how strong she could be because that was one of the first times that she ever stood up and did something. I still really love that fight in the tuning exams for her because she showed how smart and resourceful that she could be because she wasn't powerful. She didn't do good. She was smart,
That was it, yeah.
but she didn't have the talent. In Naruto, she didn't. But defending from all three of the Sound Ninja, when those two were down for the count, that was pretty good.
That's what,
Yeah.
which by the way, I agree with you, but that's why I don't agree with you is her best fight. But that's what I say. What you should say, Lo, is they said to all the stinky Sakura haters who say that she had no lineage. If y'all don't remember, Sakura was the top scorer in her class.
I remember,
from
yeah.
early on.
Mhm.
From the start of the series, she was the top scorer in her class consistently, number one.
And that's why they put her in there with in Team 7. Because
yes,
you had
with Sasuke
Naruto,
and
who's the
all those
dumbest.
other people.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. So what do you think? What do you think her power was? Her power was healing, which required what? Incredible chakra control.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
her
From the
being
beginning.
incredibly smart matches up with her having great, like meticulous chakra control
It
that
does.
not even an Uchiha or someone like that could have because that's
Mhm.
not their focus. And so you know what I mean? Her powers made sense. And then she was trained by the best healer,
Yep.
whose grandfather was the best healer in ninja ever.
Yep.
So it's like
She was
She's
built up to
literally
be
her
like that.
apprentice. Yeah.
Mhm.
her strength made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a beast.
Which we could, I don't want to stay on that too long, but
Go
mine, which
ahead.
I disagree that that's a topic that shouldn't be, because I say that has a lot of arguments. I think
Mhm.
that's actually a good argument topic. But what I say that shouldn't be really a thing is the fact that her telling Naruto she loved him was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was good writing. The reason being is because if you understand Sakura's character, her whole thing was trying to be powerful where she couldn't, physically, mentally, with all her, you know what I mean, with her buddies, her crew as well, which were daggone God reincarnate. So they flew past her. And at one point, things were so far out of her hands that the only thing she could do was kind of use her power as a woman, which she knew that Naruto loved her at one point, or at least liked her. So she thought she could, you know what I mean, take an adult step and say, hey, I'll sacrifice my love for Sasuke. I'll sacrifice everything if you just come home and, you know what I mean, and then we'll just live together. Screw it. I'll find a way to fall in love with you. And that's kind of where her mental space was at. And that's the only thing she could do because she saw Naruto was killing himself, but Naruto was so far past that already.
Mhm.
That part right
It
there
was.
was some really strong writing. And people turned it into a meme, but I think that was really good writing. And y'all can eat it about it.
No, I think that's an
I like
extremely
that.
well
It's valid.
versed point.
Yeah, that's valid.
That's very valid.
That's my shouldn't argue topic, because you're not gonna have nothing that despises, that goes against the writing, because that was the writing.
What you, Gabby? You got one?
Oh, okay, go Gabby.
No, I'm still thinking of my big one. I'm deciding between two. Noah, you go ahead if you have one right now.
Zoro and Sanji. This shouldn't be an argument, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, Zoro is the first mate. He was the first one found with Luffy. On top of he's Luffy's right hand man, which I said he's the first mate, but it's clear that Oda distinguishes the power all the time. Once again, this is why I believe, Lo, you don't even know what's going on, so you won't have any context. But Gabby, you might know if you're up to this point. This is why I think Loki won't join the Straw Hats because, or if he does, is because they're gonna make some clear indication that Zoro is stronger because Oda's not gonna put someone on the Straw Hats that's stronger than Zoro that's not Luffy.
Yeah.
So I don't think that'll ever happen. So
There's no
that
way.
being said, I don't think Loki will join the Straw Hats because I think Loki might be stronger than Luffy unless Zoro comes out with some display of Conqueror's hockey that shows that he might even be on Loki's or above Loki's level.
I don't think anyone's going to join the Straw Hats anyway either. I think they're done.
So that being said, also I think that Queen was nowhere on the level of King.
I was gonna say after Wano, it's pretty clear who's the stronger
not.
one between those two. It was clear that
if y'all remember, Queen headbutted Chopper, and Chopper suplexed him.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all remember that, One Piece watchers? Queen headbutted Chopper. I don't care if he was in his big mode. That is pre-red line strength. We're not talking about that. Queen, second right hand to Kaido, was headbutted Chopper. Chopper said, "Ooh," suplexed him. That Sanji beat that. Chopper is not suplexing King, baby. King was destroying mountains. No. I think it's just like, but it also shows like, cause say what you want. I think Sanji unlocking his Vin Smoke power right there was a little bit of an ass pull because Zoro doesn't train. I mean, Sanji doesn't train. He just cooks.
Yeah.
Zoro's training all day. That arc he had to learn with the new sword in Wano. He was learning about his hockey, which he didn't even know what it was. He had like 3 fights, one fight before King that put him near death. So it's like it's clear that Zoro's going through similar to what Luffy's going to, just on a little bit of a smaller scale. So to see him go through that, it made sense that he had such an insane upgrade to fight someone like King. But for Sanji, for me, all of a sudden he's hard as steel. It was just like I need him to go through a little bit of, you know what I mean, near death before I see that to not
pre-time skip. I can see people having fun with the debate, but
exactly
it's
we're at the point now where there's no argument.
Yeah, it's clear that it's clearly Zoro now.
Y'all saw in the anime when they came to Egghead when what's his name? What's his name? Egghead. What's his name?
God.
Vegapunk. Come on, help me out, y'all.
Vegapunk.
Vegapunk.
All of us suck at names. Even our favorite anime, we suck at names.
When the female version of Vegapunk gets on the ship and says, they're all chilling, the other Vegapunk says, are you crazy? Look at Zoro. He says Zoro's name first. That's Zoro the pirate hunter. He's aware and could chop you from that range right now.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? This is the time when the separation is real. The scales are real. So it's not to say, I've had
his bounty being over Sanji's is just too funny because he's loving every minute of that.
Oh,
right
I
now.
know. It's hilarious.
Because Sanji's was only higher than his because his family. That's the only reason.
That's true.
He didn't even have any of his family's powers or the suit yet. So now, but Sanji's strong, but he ain't Zoro. He about a little bit above Queen's level.
Yeah.
Zoro's stronger than King.
Sanji's still number 3 on the crew, but
exactly.
Yeah,
he's
you're 3.
There's still the monster trio.
Yeah.
Sanji's is not as much of a monster compared to the real two.
And Jinbei, because Jinbei could unlock hard, could give Jinbei something to put him dang near Sanji level 2.
Yeah.
But thing is now that makes Sanji real crazy is his speed. Sanji's insane.
Yes,
like Luffy's the fastest. We saw him moving damn near lightning speed. But like
when you gotta mess with what's the admiral? Yeah, when you gotta mess with him, you gotta be fast.
Oh yeah, we were talking about when he was messing with what's his name?
Yeah. You gotta be on it.
So Borsalino. So that's my Sanji versus Zoro. Stop it. I know you're a bathroom peeper fan. I mean Sanji fan, but Zoro is the clear stronger. And we're not hearing nothing until Sanji beats someone with hockey on the level of direct right hand strength to Yonko.
Yeah. No, I think that's a valid point.
Yeah.
He does that.
You know, I'm glad we're in agreement. I'm glad we don't
Mhm.
have any delusional One Piece fans in here.
No, like I watched Wano. I saw what happened. Like, yeah,
Which Sanji's fight was amazing. That was a
It
Oh
was.
yeah,
seriously amazing fight.
but
But
watching King and Zoro, it's just Zoro's on a
yeah,
whole
hands
different. He's on a whole different
down,
level now. Yeah.
yeah,
hands
and to be
down.
honest, Sanji really didn't have to like unlock anything besides the ass pool Vinsmoke thing. He didn't really
Yes.
have to like try. He got hit, but he didn't get like Zoro. If he, you know what I'm saying, got hit by one of them dragon flames, it's up.
Mhm.
Like King was shooting lightning ball headbutts. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, King was built a
we got
little
any
different.
others?
In general, I'm just tired of the Goku versus everyone arguments, to be
Never
completely
gonna
honest.
stop.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah,
it's the bout of power scaling. That's the thing for me. It's like everything is different. How can you compare? Just because one
But
character
can
is
he
strong
beat
in one
I
Goku?
was
world,
about to say that, but can he beat Goku?
But can
That's
he beat Goku?
that's always the line.
fine.
It's
Goku and
always the line.
Saitama, which one? You got One Punch Man, and then you have Goku. That's the
Well,
biggest
first of
one that I
all,
think people are tired of. I'm just tired of hearing it. Pick one and just get it over with. Stop the power scaling.
So you don't like the
They're
power
two
scaling at all.
different worlds.
Okay.
Like I have fun with some of the debates if it's within the same
Mhm.
like anime and stuff. But when you get those cross reference things, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. But then people get too serious about it. And it's like, we'll never know. You'll never be able to concretely say whether one is more powerful because their power scalings in the world is so different because it's such a niche concept. It's hard to do. Obviously, someone like Sakura is not going to be Goku. Like that's not what I'm talking about. But like the strongest characters in each anime, you're never
Right.
going to be able to know. We'll never know if Luffy can beat Naruto. We'll never like we got different power scales.
but can any of them beat Goku?
Oh my god. I just,
I was waiting for you.
No.
oh my god.
No, but
Dragon Ball
first of
Z
all,
fanboy.
it's just like Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. It's just
Oh
like
god.
the idea is the fun of the fight, you know what I mean?
Right.
The
Yeah.
fun of the argument. But what's it called? The reason is because back in the day, Dragon Ball Z was the main thing we had. And when you had all these different fighting animes, it was like, okay, Goku keeps going from stronger person to stronger person to
Mhm.
stronger person, as to where like Ben 10, Static Shock, uh Teen Titans, they all kind of capped off. And it's like Dragon
Mhm.
Ball Z, he just keeps going up and up and up. So it's like
Still doing it
nobody can
today.
beat Goku. And then it's like he's my favorite MC, or you know what I mean? That's how you felt when you were a kid. So it's like
Yeah.
then today it's like he's our Superman, but the anime version. So to say that somebody is now strong enough, and also Dragon Ball Z is so absurdly power scaled to such a like planetary universe level
Yeah.
that usually they don't have any other series. That's why all the ones that people say can beat them are like back then or One Punch Man, because you got like Sailor Moon,
Right.
Saint Seiya. Those are all super old that
Yeah.
people are like they could beat Goku. But the thing
Those
is,
are the planetary
is
ones.
what I say about One Punch Man is, first of all, One Punch Man is a seinen. Dragon Ball Z is One Punch Man is damn near a gag show. Say Dragon Ball Z is
Yeah.
shonen, industry level, worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
Okay, video games, movies, posters, live actions, TV shows,
Mhm.
reruns, re-airs,
Let's dial back
multiple
on the live
series,
action part.
theater releases. I'm just saying
I
everything.
know.
We touched it all. So to compare it to One Punch Man is silly, anyways. But
Yeah.
what I say now, for all y'all out there who say that Saitama could beat One Punch Man because the Garo
Saitama
fight,
can beat.
Saitama is One
Goku,
Punch Man,
Yeah.
sir.
who can beat Goku? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because of the Garo fight, which manga readers know was one of the most insane fights in manga, where Saitama did some feats that were damn near that were planetary, like overly planetary. So now people are saying that because he did that so easily, he could beat Goku. And Saitama's powers, as y'all learn, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but kind of keep growing always. So Goku's kind of like that too, as to where he learns in battle.
Mhm.
So then what I say is the time where we saw the movie, the first time they introduced Beerus, Goku fought 100-time Kaioken God form with red hair. You remember,
Mhm.
Low.
Yeah.
Him and Beerus punched fists, and it said it shook the fabric of the universe. Remember that? And as we know, in 1980, Frieza was one tapping planets with his finger.
Yep.
Goku also beat him in 1989. So, um, when I say that people saw the destruction, I argue with somebody on Reddit and they saw the destruction in One Punch Man, and I'm like, what that is a different display of power, because we know Goku could blow up a planet since he was a kid. He blew up the moon when he was a kid.
Facts.
So that being said, when he punches, how come each punch doesn't blow a punch shook the fact? How come each punch doesn't blow up the universe? Reason is because that's not the way that Akira displays his power. He does it in a punching way, and then when he's ready for a big finale, he shows destruction. As to where in One Punch Man, a destruction will be each punch. So that's why what people will do when they power scale, and then the real freaks will use like metric tons. I'm like, get away from me. But the fun of doing stuff like that is why I say until Saitama does something that shakes the fabric of the universe, he's not beating Goku. I don't care what planets I can't say anything because y'all got to see it. But I don't care what planets and what happened. He ain't beating Goku. Goku damn near deleted the universe with a punch.
He got to land a hit on Goku too. That ain't easy.
I mean, all I'm saying is once you see the fight, it'll make a little sense why people are saying it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. The fight is like that. Like probably the best, along with Shin versus Hoken, probably the best modern day manga fight. Yeah.
I know I might be going to sleep too. All right.
Nah, I mean you have to read the manga to experience that, and that's the problem. We don't think they'll ever be able to make it as good as in the manga. So one day you might just got to read it. Damn. From where it is now, basically after season 2, it's just a fight that goes all the way until current, like a My Hero length. Like, yeah, it's just a long fight between all the heroes and the what's it called, Villain Association of Villains, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
interesting. Okay.
And all the heroes get involved. The top 1, the top 2, the ones you haven't seen, all of them get involved. So
okay, and that's what's happening. Like pretty much been going on in the manga now.
Yeah, that's why I say, yeah, it would be a good one to read, but later, once you're done your other ones.
Okay.
You've seen the art. I've shown you the art before.
Yeah, yeah, looks incredible.
That was an excellent topic, though, Gabby.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I said to make my brain churn a little bit there, but no, that was a good one.
And it's one we can revisit because there's an endless bout of topics.
That's right.
You're very right about that. So right. Thank you for that. So now let's get to our top 3s of the week.
Okay.
Who would like to go first?
You didn't watch nothing? Oh, you watched a few.
Yeah, I watched a few. Let me pull
Gabby,
up
why
my
don't you go
list.
first?
I can go first.
Pulling up my list.
Yeah. I don't think I watched as many as you two did because I was catching up on some of my stragglers from this past season.
That's okay.
And mentioning my stragglers, I caught up and finished on all of my little feel-good animes, the healers, Unaware Artillermeister. I said it! I'm better.
Nice.
Kid from the Last Dungeon. Ended on some fun notes. Good feel-good animes. Go watch them if you're bored. I mean, they're just good.
Overall rating out of 10 for Artillermeister.
Artillermeister was one of the better ones.
Can't say 7.
Would give it I would probably give it an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'd give it an 8. Dang, you can't say 7.
That's the best way
Dang,
to do
you can't say
10.
7.
It gets the real ratings.
It does. I would probably give it an 8.
Okay.
But going on to the new ones that I watched, let's see. So I did see the new episode of I have 4 new ones. The To Be Hero X episode. We got the second episode of Lolly's storyline. No, you're not caught up, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But
I caught up.
Is her name Lolly?
Her name is Lolly.
Her name is Lolly.
I thought she meant plural
I know.
lollies.
Yeah,
no. Lolly. No. Her name is Lolly.
But I made sure to catch up on both of those after last week, Gabby. So I'm caught up on those.
You're caught up on those?
Yeah, I'm caught up on those. Yeah.
No, not really. She's got more of a tomboy aesthetic.
Yeah. She's the one that she was talking about,
She
like
got the pink hair and
she hates being called cute.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of
she
stuff.
hates being called cute.
Yeah, like really ticks her off.
We ended on an explosion in last episode, seeing this guy come in, and we're getting to learn more about fear, which I think you'll find really interesting. Noah kind of starting to connect things. Only other thing I'll say, because I don't want to spoil too much, is that we get introduced to one of the other main characters that we're going to be going to, and that is the guy with the cloak. He's got like the green mask on, and he's got the swooshy like white silver hair.
Okay.
Man has aura. Man hasn't said a word episode, as I was mentioning earlier. He walks in, and I'm like, oh, I want to know what your story is.
Okay.
His name is Ghostblade.
Okay.
I will say that. And I mean, that's his hero
more.
name, so we don't know his actual name yet. But
Right.
Ghostblade, pretty cool. He says,
Okay.
"Oh, he's gonna end it," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I wonder what his power is.
I wonder too, because we saw absolutely nothing.
Someone being invisible and using a blade to cut people. I'm just gonna take a stab at it.
So that one was good. I will say that one is my number 3. I'm going out of order. Here coming up. My honorable mention is the first episode of the Kaiju season 2. We kind of just jumped into a day in my life episode. It was a feel good. Have both of you seen it?
No.
Yeah, it's it's actually a ONA, or like
Oh, is that what that was?
3 episodes of someone's day off. Yeah, they're like he did a separate manga of
okay. Yeah, this one was Hoshina's day off. So we followed the vice captain around. We got to see all the recruits. This was like a flashback to a day before the big event and the big reveal happened at the end of the first season, which was kind of cool, just to reintroduce yourself to the characters. You can definitely see the upgrade in the art style, which is very nice.
You did, and that okay, cool.
Yeah, you can tell the characters. The color is a little better, more brighter. You can tell the way they draw. Some of them is a little different. Not too different to where you can't recognize the characters anymore, but different enough to where clickers coming forward, you'll probably be able to see it. They didn't show us any of the older characters.
He did that too. He said he did that to like give you more, which now that I'm thinking about it, he ended a story without expanding a lot of characters, but he said he did that to like expand a little bit on the characters, which is just a little bit, but gave them some slice of life and stuff.
It's something. It shows you more about their relationships and all that stuff. Yeah. So I appreciated it, but it's my honorable mention because, we didn't get too much, but I didn't know what to go in. But I like that. Number 2 is the newest episode of Dandadan. I really like that. Did you both watch that one?
Yes.
Okay. We're starting right back off in the pool, in the hot tub, and Momo is naked.
I'm over this, and I hope they move past it.
Men that I was surprised that others could see at first. And then when they get to the house, and I'm like, of course.
They're real people.
Everyone is shirtless. Everyone is always half naked in this show. Always.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The end, so it was good to see the characters get a little bit more of GG, but the ending of this episode surprised me. All of a sudden, when Momo and Okarun collapsed, and then Okarun is just shifting all of a sudden. Like, what is that noise that's making him feel like he's shifting? And so I'm very excited. We just jumped right back into the drama, so good. And then number one is going to be probably my new favorite. It is another cooking anime. Welcome to the Outcasts restaurant. It is an adventure, a level 99 cook who was part of a guild, and then he got kicked out of the guild because the guild leader is a butt face, and he's so mean and conniving. I want to say another word, but I can't say it. And it's kind of funny because they established something going on in the background of this anime within the first 5 minutes. Because the guy gets kicked out and he's on his way, and all of a sudden there's a shot at the top of like this clock tower, and like the butthead leader guy is like, now we can put this plan into action tenfold. And I'm like, background already? Like, that's good. I'm like, hello? evil mastermind. So we can already tell that there's going to be some background stuff in here, so it's not just a little food anime.
Mhm.
But I love it. This guy goes. He has this how to start a restaurant as a former adventurer book, and he's so excited to start a restaurant. And then he finds this slave girl, and he buys her. So he save her from some pervert that wants to buy her. Because
Is
apparently
this
he
an
also
isekai?
no.
Okay.
Apparently he also had a past where he was a slave. It's mentioned, like a flashback. You could tell something happened similar. So he saves her, and then of course he wins her over. Gives her a makeover. She got fresh. She's like stuttering, and then of course he makes a meal for her, and she's just like crying happiness. Now she follows him, and she's the little waitress of the restaurant, and they're gonna get their first customer.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. And they made fried rice.
Amazing.
This is our first episode. They made fried rice.
Is the like food animation good?
I was
Oh,
about to
it's
say that.
beautiful. It's
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
beautiful.
Great.
It's a show that you have to have snacks with.
Got it.
Nice. You'll get too
Got it.
hungry.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love
You gonna
it.
make fried rice before the next episode?
I might. I just might.
Okay.
Those are mine.
All right. Let me give this a shot. Bring this back up. I put one of my honorable mentions definitely To Be Hero X. I'm not a super fan of Lolly.
No.
But other than that, still a great show. So I'll just put that on my honorable mentions. I did get around to watching the last episode of Lazarus, so I finished that, closed that out.
That was dope.
Yeah, it was. Great show overall. Definitely.
Not Watanabe's best story, but great show.
Yeah. I agree. Like slow at some points, but overall, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, the connections with all the characters were good. I really liked. What made me mad was right around episode 12, I was really starting to like all the characters, and I'm like, damn, it's only one more episode.
And that's it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I like how they all got along together, how they worked together. Yeah, that was a good team overall. It's good to know that if he wants to do something else with it, they'll still be around. So
He won't.
knows?
He never does.
unless it's like a movie or something. But I don't know if it's just popping up to get the movie treatment. But
He's probably already halfway done his next project.
possibly. Another one I watched with y'all, Noah, New Saga. I think it has potential. Pretty much. Which one was
Got to
this one?
rewatch. Fell asleep.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much a kingdom type of anime with fantasy and all that kind of stuff. Beasts, demons, whatever, show up one day, start wreaking havoc on the humans. Everybody dies. His whole family, all his friends, everybody dies. Yeah, everybody dies throughout this war. He finally gets to face the big bad. Beats the big bad, but pretty much he's dying at the same time. Like he costs his life trying to beat this big bad, and grabs his jewel that starts glowing at the time, which sends him back in time 4 years before everything starts. So as he's putting everything together, he's like, okay, let me write everything down I remember that happened so I can try to prevent everything from happening in the future and save my family and save my friends and all that kind of stuff. So
classic.
It's potential, yeah. Nothing new, but okay, it's some potential there.
That's in your top, or that's honorable mention?
No, that's just mentioned something that I did watch that was brand new.
Oh, okay.
That's just brand new.
That's my classic webtoon setup. And I read a lot of webtoons.
Call of the Night. I probably put that as my number 3. Call of the Night.
Call of the Night, Gabby? Wait, you haven't seen Call of the Night, have you?
Yeah, I haven't watched the first season.
Oh, okay.
I fell off of it at one point when it was out, but I finished it back up recently. So I played the first season. It just got boring for me related to other things when it was first coming out.
Yeah, I love this show for whatever reason. The visuals, the audio, the music, everything. It's become like a comfort kind of anime for me. Okay. So I'm liking that season 2 right off the bat. Kind of got right back into it. Like the intro is gas. Like intro is absolutely fire.
We're talking intro of the year type good.
Yeah. They did it again. Season 1, season 2, they knocked it out. Season 1, I say they knocked out the park. No different here in season 2, but the same vibes and feels. And this season is going to focus more about that year timeline of them having to fall in love before he dies. So kind of interesting to see where it's going. There's a lot of action in the intro too, so it makes it think it's going to be a little more action oriented this season. So looking forward to seeing where they go with season 2. Then I had to put that on my episode 2. Not episode 2, but my number 2 list as far as big ones of the week. Like I said, it's Down to Nine. Like it was everything Down to Nine is known for. It was weird, action was dope, and it was extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was 2.
That was number 2. Yeah. I have to say I did watch the Night of the Living Cat thing.
How was it?
It's so fucking dumb. I'm sorry for cursing, but it is so stupid. I'm sorry.
I can't wait to watch the dumb.
Oh no,
thing.
Gabby, you're gonna love it.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go watch it literally tonight.
Bad.
Like I can watch with y'all and just sit here, and just shake my head, just laugh at it. But it's like
a lot of times comedies are better to binge than to watch weekly.
Yeah, like everybody loves cats in this show. And so they want to still touch them and be able to play with them and rub on their bellies and stuff, but you can't because you're gonna turn into a freaking cat.
I'll turn into a cat. I don't care. I just need to pet them.
Of course.
It's like the cats took over the world.
This is how it's meant to be.
They tried to experiment on one and made like hybrid cats, and one ended up getting, I guess, smarter than the rest. And so now it's just a thing. And you follow these people that are like working at a cat cafe, and this one guy, he has no memory of the past. But for some reason, he knows everything there is about cats. So they're trying to help him get his memory back and work with cats and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like a zombie joint. It just pops off one day. Guy coming over, took a while for me to get here. I was playing with this group of cats I saw outside, and it was all cute, yada, yada. And next thing you know, he turned into a freaking cat.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going on? Somebody else gets touched. They turn to a cat. Everybody saw us running like zombies.
I remember that. We saw that in the movie.
Yeah,
and that's just what it's just that's what it is. And it is so stupid.
Sounds like utter bullshit. I'm in.
It is so stupid. Like I could watch it with you all, just laugh, but sitting there watching it by myself, no. But every scene, I was like, Gabby would get us killed in this situation. We all get
I would immediately get everyone in the world killed. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh my God,
no one's surviving. Everyone needs to be a kitty.
Yeah, but
I'd be like, here.
You're gonna smile the entire time watching it. No. I just put it on because I did watch it, and I just wanted to mention the fact that I watched that freaking anime this week.
Okay.
My number 1 though is I'm trying to remember the name, how to say it. We watched it on Saturday.
Gachikuda?
No, Clavantes.
Is
if I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, Clavates.
Yeah, had that big demon with the 4 demon lords.
Either that or Clavates, but I think it's Clavates. Yeah,
that's what I think it is.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was my number 1. Solid. I'm looking forward to
watching. Number 3 or number 1?
That was my number 1 this week. I really enjoyed that. I went back and rewatched everything just to kind of remember. And another honorable mention, the day the summer Hikaru died. That one really has piqued my interest.
That one is great. Unfortunately, I won't be continuing because that's a BL. But Gabby, tell us how it is.
I didn't know that.
Which one is a BL?
Remember what I said? It kind of gives Parasite vibes. It's on Netflix. It's called The Summer Hikaru Died.
Yeah.
Hikaru. But it's like where an alien becomes a human, and then basically this human figures it out, and then he says literally like, "Don't fucking tell anyone, or I'm gonna kill you."
It's the first thing that comes up.
It's being promoting. Luckily, Netflix is promoting this. They're not for some reason they didn't promote Moonrise, but
okay, I'm watching.
So I guess that it becomes a yaoi because I checked and I was talking. Remember, I said this is really yaoi coded, and then Benny was like, "Nah, they're just best friends." So
no, they're not.
We'll see. But then I looked at the description. Yeah, it's a BL. It's unfortunate.
Okay.
But is what it is.
Good first episode, though. I'll say that.
It was an interesting first episode. If you want to go watch.
Yeah. Little creepy, little creepy, suspenseful. Yeah. It makes you trying to figure out things, put two and two together.
It's a horror suspense too, which was upsetting because I was reading it. I was like, oh, but is what it is.
Yeah, Devontae's was my number 1, so
that's what's up.
Very
nice.
I watched Ugly Mug Epic Fighter. Remember we watched that one about
I just saw it on Crunchyroll. I was like, oh
yeah.
So basically he went, I can't remember, he was just a stupid salary man shut in, and then he goes into his office and sees some opportunity to be isekai to another world, and he thinks it's like a joke. So he's like,
Oh
he's
no.
like super depressed. So he's like just creating himself super ugly. But the worse you create yourself when you type it out, the more
Your
points
stats
you
are
have to put into your
better.
attributes. So he made himself ugly as hell. Apparently, if a girl touches you, you lose half your health. I was like, bro, why would you do that to yourself?
Dog.
So many negatives
Didn't
to
believe.
himself. But when he got to the world, all the stats were at 5. So he put 1,000,000,000,000 in each stat. So now his class is godly being or something
He
like
ugly.
that.
He's just ugly as hell and can't get no women.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
So that one was interesting. I'm gonna definitely keep watching it.
Okay.
I watched what else did I watch? Clavati's is definitely my number one honorable mention. Amazing first episode.
Yeah.
It gave me Lord of the Rings vibes. That
It
Lord of
did.
the Rings movie.
It did. Yeah.
That was so good. The story's really good. A bunch of people died to a
I
monster
like
they
the
couldn't
swag
fight.
of the demon beast, dude. I kind of like him, even though he's the big
Clavati's,
villain.
that's his
Yeah,
name.
Clavati. Yeah, I like him. He's cool
So a
in
bunch
a
of
scary ass way.
yes. Are you looking it up, Gabby? A bunch of monsters basically fight the one big monster. It's like a legendary monster fights a bunch of heroes, kills them all, and then resurrects one because he needs help raising a baby and turns into a human. That's basic plot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't raise this baby alone. You come here.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
Yeah, like
absolutely.
like you care for this thing. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's brutal too.
Yeah, it's very brutal.
Yeah.
Be prepared for that.
Okay. Blanket. Gotcha.
Yeah, like the first time it happened, it was like, oh, y'all going this hard. That was there pieces everywhere.
Yes.
Dude.
Heads chopping off, bodies.
Yeah.
Yes.
He don't play. Levantes don't play. Let's put it like that.
X-rated. The Water Magician, another honorable mention.
I watched that last night.
I have
you
that
told me
on
about
save.
it. Yeah, I watched it last night.
That has a beautifully deceiving intro. There's not many animes about water and like water magic, so it's really cool. And the concept is cool. And it's an isekai. And the intro is like on some Mushoku Tensei level animation, but the series is not. But it's still not bad. It's better than the beginning after the end. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It has potential. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is being added to our weeklies. It definitely has potential. So because me and Benny was both like, yo, this is a really cool plot. So this might be one of the randoms we add to our weeklies. I really enjoyed it. I believe what else did I watch? What else did we watch? I believe that's it from last week that I watched that's outside my top 3. Trying to think, is there anything else that I watched? Oh, Call of the Night will be another amazing watch from this season. The vibe is there. I love the voice actor of the male MC. He's like Momo. It's just like their expressiveness, their over expressiveness makes you like the character by default. And I don't really know. I can't really put a finger on it, but I think that's what it is. So yeah, I really love him. And that series is such a vibe. Intro is a banger. We heard it months ago, and it's already been viral all over
it's
the
fire.
world,
Yeah.
way before it even came out. So that being said, my top 3 are: number 1 is Takapi's Original Sin. Y'all, this episode was more depressing than the first episode.
Are you serious?
Oh God, I'm ready. Let's go.
This was some dark ass shit, but it ends on a happy note, but a note that's like, where the hell do we go from here? Because many things are in your head that could happen that you can tell the writer doesn't want you to be happy yet, at least yet. I don't know if at all, but yet. So he gives you a little happiness, but it looks like this happiness could lead to sadness.
Joy.
But it's some really gruesome way this happiness happens. So just know this episode is crazy. Y'all out there, if y'all want a series that's like some of the most depressing stuff I've ever seen in anime or fiction, period, watch this. But know that with that depression comes an incredible story, because this story is so crazy good with this stupid little squeaky alien octopus. And that's definitely my number 1. Number 2 is Gacha Kuda. Episode 1, Gabby.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so
Got
good. Yeah,
is
I
that
forgot
on
about that.
Crunchy?
It's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
It's one of the most anticipated new releases of the year for sure.
forgot all about it.
Um,
Yep,
this is a really
that's
high
good.
selling manga, really popular manga. Fortunately, it's not on Shonen Jump, but I've read about 18 chapters, so I think I'm gonna keep reading this past at least where the first season is because I want to be ahead. But the first episode adapted so well, the first chapter, first two chapters, I think, and they made the characters look so good. Animation's good, CG looks good. Um,
Story's
basically,
intriguing.
yes. Basically, there's a city where people are rich. There's the slums right outside, kind
Oh,
of like
this
Brazil
one.
level
Yep.
slums.
Okay. Yeah, I have this one on my watch list.
And the people send their trash down to this pit that's like the middle of nowhere. And the people from the slums sometimes go into it because even their trash is more valuable than stuff they have. So they have like this one MC who's trash raider, but they're trying to make their public opinion go up so they can be seen as better and eventually move back into the city. But obviously, it's probably never going to happen
Right.
unless like a hero changes the world. So this boy basically gets framed for his father figure being killed and gets sent into the pit, and that's the end of the first episode. And at the pit is the end is like literally a trash dump, and there was like a giant trash monster about to attack him. Very interesting plot, very interesting characters. That is my number 2, and it's crazy because Don to Don would be my number 3, but I think that's my individual honorable mention because Momo, I'm rewatching Don to Don season 1, and I've told y'all time and time again how much I love Momo's character because of her voice actress.
Yeah.
And season 1 is pissing me off. Season 2 is pissing me off because they need to stop sexually assaulting this character. Like
Yeah.
we got over it in the first season. I'm okay with the ball stuff and his dick missing and all this weird stuff. I already knew the series was weird, but we don't have to keep sexually assaulting the 17-year-old. Please
Yeah.
don't do it again. I'm so annoyed. So that would be my number 3 because I hate when they do that in Fate one time to Saber. Sorry, little spoiler. And it completely diminishes the female character for me when they do that. And I absolutely hate when they do that to my favorite female characters.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that didn't make it in the top 3 because of that, even though I loved it. But that's my honorable mention. And number 3 would be The Flagrant Flowers Blooms with Dignity.
Yeah, the
Sin
one you
has
texted
told
us
me-
about today. Yeah.
Sin has told me this hasn't aired in America.
Yeah.
In the US. I've heard about this for a long time. So I know it's really popular. What I'm thinking is I haven't looked into this because I usually don't check on romances. But this season I told you I'm watching the romances. I even gonna watch Dress Up Darling and all that. This one I heard about, but I didn't look into it because I usually don't. I'm assuming that because it's on Netflix, they gave it a release schedule that's different from all simulcasts. That's the only thing I'm coming up with my guesstimate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's not out in the US. But if you have VPN, you can legally watch it from a different country, which that's what we're going to say I did.
That's all I heard.
Yeah.
So this is a romance, and I love, y'all know me, I don't want I usually stay away from a romance that has to do anything within high school. Unfortunately, this one is in high school, but if it's a really well made and really like tasteful story, then I'm down. Basically, guy, 6'4", blonde, scary face, like scary to the point of where he scares most people. And the delinquents in this school he goes to, which is an all boys delinquent school, all the boys around him are like friends with him, or at least his friend group. All the other delinquents try and mess with his friends. Anytime he walks up, they just run away because he's legitimately is like a scary looking dude.
Yeah.
He goes home one day. They're asking him his boys asking him to play. Oh, sorry. Before I say that, next door is a girls' school. All of society hates these kids that go to the school because they kind of like shame them, look at them because they're delinquents. The girls particularly hate them because they're next door. They leave their blinds closed. They don't even want to look at the boys, right? She dropped something. He tried to pick it up and give it to her. She's like, throw it away. I don't even want it anymore. And that's how much they don't like them. So he goes home. His parents of this MC owns a cake shop, the 6'4" dude. So he goes home to help his parents. And then he's helping in the back. Or I haven't figured out if it's his mom, aunt, sister, whatever. She says, go outside and serve. And he's like, I don't want to. people are just gonna be scared of me. So clearly I'm finding out he has some trauma about this.
Yeah.
He goes out there and she's like, okay, there's only one person out there, it'll be fine. So he goes out there, sees a pretty girl sitting at a table, and she's got like 8 cake muffin containers empty in front of her. So he's staring. He's like, wow, she put it back. Yeah. He's like, hold on, she's cute too. She put it back. Okay. So he stared more than would be probably socially appropriate, and it made her flustered, and she ran away. Now, immediately when I saw this girl, I was thinking, now what did I tell you? There's a girl school next door, and they hate him. And immediately when I saw, because I was like, okay, this is the love interest, because I know nothing going in. And I'm like, clearly she probably goes to the school next door, right? Like that's
right. The obvious choice
I can figure that out. So she runs away, and he thinks, well, she's just scared of me like everybody else. Kind of gets depressed. It's kind of sad. Goes back in. She comes back in the next day, which was really wholesome. You also don't see this much in romance, where the girl initiates, and she came back, and he was like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes a lot of people are just scared. And she was like, I would want to treat you to some cake because I thought it was rude that I ran away in your face yesterday. I just really haven't had like a boy look at me that long before, and I got a little flustered. And so I was like, okay, we got normal humans. Like, we have humans. We can. That's a green flag for the romance.
Conversation, communication.
Yes. I'm like, okay.
Communicate.
So basically, she's like, well, you can treat me. This is my cake house. So basically, he treats her. She treats him to some cake. He doesn't want it because he eats all the time. She's looking at it, obsessed, and he passes it to her. Because she couldn't, she's like drooling for it. So she eats it. He thinks she's much younger than her. And then basically they hang out. She goes home, and he's like, you want me to walk you home? Normal thing, anime. She says no, or at least the station. She says no, station's right there. I'm good. Mind you, the delinquents who don't like him because he's scary are always trying to find a way to mess with him. So they're watching this altercation happen because they happen to be passing by, find out that she's about to go home without a guardian. So then they catch her in a corner. He's already said his goodbye. They're, you know what I mean, grabbed her by the wrist, says, come hang out with me, forget that guy. Their plan apparently was to use her basically to harass him. So they tried to put a bad word in his ear, and then he was around the corner listening because her mom, aunt, sister, whoever found her empty take home outside. So she's like, Rentaro, which is Rent-A-Girlfriend's name. Not Rent-A-Girlfriend, Hunter-Girlfriend's name. Rentaro, your girl, she lost her box. She okay. He runs out, hears her talking.
Take it back real quick.
Like, yeah, they're saying that dumb stuff about him, and he's like, wow, people just really make up stuff about me because of how I look. He's like, that's crazy. And then he's about to walk away because he's so depressed. Mind you, this girl needs help. But then she says, why are y'all making assumptions based on rumors? Because they were just saying stuff like, I hear he's scary, I hear he's a delinquent. Even in middle school he had problems, but in middle school he was just a scary looking kid, kind of like Shinra. So people thought, you know what I mean? So they're like, why are you? She's like, why are you?
Shinra just took that straight.
I love Shinra so much.
I mean, that's what his high school story is.
It's true.
I know, it was just funny. It just came out of nowhere. Just
the perfect example. Like, so basically, she's like, why would you say that? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, have you tried talking to him? She's like, maybe you should. I mean, she's innocent as hell. He's like, maybe you should talk to him. You'll find out he's a wonderful person. He's like, I don't give a crap if he's wonderful. And she's like, well, if you're not going to talk to him, could you please at least not say whatever you want about him to me? Because that's rude. And then the dude's like, all right, girl. Well, I was going to, I know. And then he's listening. He's like, okay, getting pepped up. And then he's like, I was going to use you to harass him, but I think we'll just deal with that next time. And he pulls back to full on haymaker, this like 4'8" cute little cake shop girl. And then, of course, Rentaro jumps in, hugs her, takes the punch, and his head is bleeding. And immediately my thoughts are, bro, she's in love, bro. That's it, bro. You just took a punch and injured yourself in front of her? I'm like, you're good, bro. You're good. You're good. Play the long game, dude. You're good. You took a punch for her. And so basically they run away when they see it's him because they're scared of him because he's so big. And then she's like, oh my God, you're bleeding, I can't believe they did that. And like I said, from there, you know, it's a shoo-in now. I was like, as like in there, they don't realize that because they're in there, but as a watcher, you're watching like, okay.
Yeah, like, okay.
This is end game.
Yeah. I'm like, you're good. You planted the seed that will bloom.
You got this, my guy. Just be you.
Oh my God.
So I really want to explain that because I really enjoyed that episode 1. And I'll put it on Plex or Lo. You put it on Plex, Gabby, if you want to watch it, or use your VPN. Yeah, whatever. I am
looking forward to watching that right now.
And
that sounds good. That sounds really good.
It was a really great first episode.
Yeah. I wonder what the episode run-up is going to be.
Maybe 24. The romances go, but I can look.
Romances can go for a while.
So that one definitely seems like it's going to be like the most anticipated from this year. Were like that one, The Dangers in My Heart. Did you watch that one, Gabby? The Dangers in My Heart?
No, I did not. Is that also
that
Netflix?
One's super. It's either Netflix or Crunchyroll. That one's super loved by everyone. It's like one of the top anime in the world because everyone loves that so much.
The Dangers in My Heart.
Yeah, The Dangers in My Heart. My Happy Marriage, Apothecary Diaries. Those were like, and Dress Up Darling. Those are like the most. This one as well. Those are like the most anticipated. That I can think of romances of the year. Probably like top 5. My cat is freaking out, but I think she sees a fly.
Oh, Dangers in My Heart is Prime Video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it really? I thought I saw it on Crunchyroll. Okay.
Well, that's where I need to find it and add it at.
I thought it was on Crunchyroll too, but it says it's only.
Season 2 just finished airing like last season. So, yeah. But that was like, on IMDb, all the episodes have like a 9 rating. It's a really, really loved romance. I just haven't checked it out because too many romance. But you should and get back to us.
Yes. As the resident romance, I'm on it.
There's and Yamada level 999. Was that this year or last year? Loving Yamada level 999. That was another.
Oh yeah,
romance.
That was cute.
Was it?
I loved that one.
Yeah, that was one of the more popular ones as well.
All right, that wraps up our top 3s. It's good to see that the summer anime are already starting to creep in. That's kind of dope. So we got a strong summer coming up. All right,
next week I'm having so many more episode 1s because I got like 5 on the list to watch tonight.
I'm gonna try to watch what I can at work because this weekend, until we watch stuff together, that's not gonna work. I unfortunately I don't want to say unfortunately, that's not true. Have 4 different wrestling pay-per-views to watch this weekend.
Oh my god!
4. It is stupid. It is stupid.
It is.
4 on the same.
Don't ask me because I agree.
Oh no, I agree. I'm not happy about it. Like that's too many in one weekend, and one of them's gonna be like 12 hours long. Because I'm exaggerating, but AEW when they do their pay-per-views, they like to overpack their cards, and it's to the point like we'll be sitting there watching. I'll be like, "Hey, how many matches we got left?" Like, we got like 3 left. I'm like, "Dude, it's like 12 o'clock at night. Like, why are we still here?
Yep,
we're not done yet." So
that used to only come on TV, or has it always been on pay-per-view?
No, it's just this weekend. I think it's AEW and WWE throwing jabs at each other because AEW has their big one. They're like what's considered their WrestleMania is this weekend called All In, and that's pretty much all day on Saturday. The very long one I'm talking about. But Saturday, WWE has 2 of them coming on.
Okay.
They have Saturday night main event at 8 o'clock, and they have their NXT one, Great American Bash at like 1 or something like that. And then Sunday, they have a 3rd one called Evolution 2, Sunday night. So 3 complete on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. Like it's I plan on watching one of them live. One of them live. If I can do the second one on Sunday, I'll do that one on Sunday. But All In, I'll watch live. Everything else, you'll have to.
All this good anime coming out in the summer season.
I don't know. I'm gonna get to my summers. I'm gonna watch what I can beforehand, and then I'm hoping Saturday night it's off by the time we start watching stuff because it starts at 2. It starts at 2 in the afternoon.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm hoping it's off by then. So I'm guessing it'll be off by 10
We got some more weeklies to watch. Not next week, but the week after. We might have to move it to Sunday because Sakamoto Days, which I'm already annoyed about, comes out on Tuesday. So I have to wait all week to watch that. But
unless we do like
I think something comes out on Sunday that I really want to watch with everyone. So I think and I don't want to wait a whole watch. It might be I know Gacha Akuda comes out on Sunday. So
we watched it. Yeah, we watched it Sunday.
Yeah. But other than that, did you read some Chainsaw Man?
Unfortunately, no, because I'm not even gonna lie. This weekend, I couldn't do anything for like all of Saturday. I didn't do anything but doom scroll. It was just one of those mental days. I just couldn't. I didn't get out of it until like 8 o'clock when I found a game I wanted to play. And then right when I was playing that, we started watching anime. So but after that, I was already behind on watching stuff. So I was trying to catch up on
right.
those anime.
No, that's all good. What about you, Gabby? Have you read any manga recently?
No, I've been trying to catch up on all the isekais that I have been given as homework. And I watched the Konosuba movie.
Let's go.
I did. I watched it, and I love.
Awesome.
I love.
My dad
I
just
love.
texted me. All these
I
people are
love
walking around out here. I'm like, it's Beyonce, Dad. It's Beyonce.
It's Beyonce,
Everybody's walking to the stadium.
Half the city of black women are walking around.
Yeah.
That was perfect. Why are these people walking outside our house? It's Beyonce, Dad.
Yeah,
Dad, are they black women and gay men?
Yes. I'm sure.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but continue. I apologize.
That's all right,
No, that was the best interruption ever. No, but yes, I watched the Konosuba
how'd you like
movie. I absolutely love it. It was so exciting to see more of Megumin's village, and just the way at the beginning of the introduction where they're like all, "Oh, I am the Arc Master of this," and then you just see him respond, and they're like, "No one's ever greeted us like this before. You understand our culture," and I'm like, "Oh dear Lord."
Where it comes from now with Megami.
I'm like, I see this is a normal thing. I'm like, these are all crazy people.
No, what we never did know it that we might have to do all three together once she finishes. Watch the one about her people.
Yeah,
because we never watched
those
those together.
episodes, but it's on my catch-up list.
Okay.
What's it called? Yeah, but I'm glad you like it because people loved it so much they made a whole, like I told you, spin-off anime about just her village. Yeah,
that I would be so excited to watch that, but I really liked
wasn't it funny as hell?
It was so funny. Our whole thing, and then his romance with the monster, with the demon, like at the end, she's like, "You tricked me, but I still love you." And I'm like, "What is happening?" And the entire time, I'm in my peak era. I'm in my I got all the girls era.
What do you say it is? His popular era?
His popular era. That's what it was.
I'm in my popular era.
He said that every
He said that
minutes.
as he died. When he died to revive him. Now that you see they're using their bullshit against themselves. Like they know he can dive and be revived.
Fantastic.
Yes.
It was so good.
Even
I'm very
Aqua is
excited
useful now.
for season 2. Very excited for season 2.
So you saw an iconic scene in anime that has been memed a million times when he goes, he's hugging her and resting his head in her boobs and goes, "Why do I feel something back there?" Because there is something back there.
I was like, "Oh, I know where this is going."
And then held him tighter. "I'm a chimera. I'm half man, half woman." He said, "No."
And then, not even a minute later, the man was like, "You know what? I can deal with this."
Yeah.
And I'm like, he swings always.
I love Kazuma. The way they do his character, he's such a degenerate in like such a comical way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Kazuma
so much.
He's not a crazy degenerate. He's not like Brunus.
Yeah, not at all.
He's just funny.
He is, but not completely.
Not that way.
Yeah.
It was so good.
That bathroom scene with darkness was so funny.
Oh my god, yes. It's so funny.
I'm so glad you watched that one. That's yes.
Yes.
A must
it was
watch.
So good.
Well, when you get to season 2.
Yeah, I'm about to start season 2 once I get my schedule of summer animes in.
Okay.
So.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of episode 1s before I get back to rewatching Daredevil. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Nice.
To watch the new season.
I'm trying to watch this show on Netflix called Mercy for No One.
Okay.
I watched the first episode and it's right up my alley.
Okay.
Y'all, live action one looks like it's a Korean action thriller kind of drama.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all did my brother wrong. I'm about to come back and beat the hell out of every last one of you. So
okay.
First episode was dope. So I'm like, okay, I gotta finish. And it's weird. It says it's a limited series on Netflix. So I tell you it's not gonna be around but for so long.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I want to get through before it disappears. Because first episode, I like it so far. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I still gotta watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
I can't stop listening to the soundtrack.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's why when you said K-pop Demon Hunters, I was like, Lo, what are you talking about? I was like, you know damn well I don't know anything involving nothing that has to do with K-pop. And then I didn't realize it was like a Netflix like popular production that they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony
I thought
Studios
it was
did it.
actual K-pop stuff. I was like, what is he talking about?
It might as well be actual K-pop stuff. Apparently, it's turning into
it. It is so good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's promoted like heavily, so
yeah,
I would have heard about it eventually. I thought he was telling me some stuff I would have never otherwise known about.
Yes.
Nope. Just showed up on Netflix one day, like, hey, that's why the brand was like, it's pretty dope. So I checked it out, and yeah, it's too good. I'm sorry. I did not. My thing is, I never expected this movie to be as good as it is, and the soundtrack is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I listen to it on Spotify when I'm in traffic. Just K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's go. Keep moving. Yeah, super good. Super good.
Man, that's cool. I told you I finished the first book of Kyoshi and I started the second one.
Oh yeah.
The story of that ends so good, man. I'm still confident that this story is better than Aang's story. She fully moves forward her relationship with Rangi, which is her firebender friend that's there with her. And she has this bandit group, but one of the people in the bandit group dies at the end of the story. Which is crazy because they're young. They're like Toph's age, or it's like the main group you had Sokka, Katara, Toph, Appa, Aang, Momo, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the group. For them, you have Rangi, Kyoshi, Lauga, Lek, Karima, who's a waterbender girl, and one more. So they had 6 also. So it's imagine like Toph or Sokka died. You know what I mean? That would be crazy.
Right.
In that story. That happens, and it happened out of nowhere. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it forever. And that book came out in 2019, so people hadn't been talking about it. And finally, I saw on Instagram, I guess my cookies or something, post somebody did some Kyoshi art of the characters, and I commented on there, and somebody commented back, and they were like, I was like, bro, I feel like that death was so abrupt. And then somebody commented back, I was like, finally, I have somebody to talk to about this. He was like, bro, I was looking for somebody to talk to about too. I just read it. He was like, that character's death was so bad, and they brought it out of nowhere. And it definitely brought the story to the next level. But basically, that's what it took for her to finally get her revenge, which I don't really mind telling y'all because y'all probably forget by the time this comes out. But basically, I told y'all how they had an original Avatar who they thought was the Avatar, and it wasn't. And she ended up becoming the Avatar via the spirit telling them who killed the original Avatar. So turns out the person who was the earthbender who was supposed to train her, who killed her love, who was her original love, which was that guy, she was trying to get vengeance. Basically, he steals Rangi, chops off, he poisons everyone. That's how they die, because he uses some poison. Random assassins find them at the end of the story. Everything's great. They just escape these bandits. She's learned her new stuff.
That's the perfect time to strike.
And I'm looking at the story and I'm like, okay, because I'm listening to this on Audible, and I'm looking, it's like an hour left, and I'm like, okay, so like I guess we're just gonna get to the next one. Nope, it's like the
worst.
Literally, Rangi's walking. She's like, and then Rangi, and they're finally friends. Like Rangi shouldn't even be talking to bandits. She's a lieutenant of the Fire Nation. Like she would never be talking to bandits. So she's gone against like her moral ethics, but now they're like her brethren because she's lived and almost died with them and all this different stuff. So she's walking with one of them, has her arm on her shoulder, like being big sister to him because he's a younger boy. Basically, all of a sudden she falls to her knees, and Rangi can't be caught by anything. So she falls to her knees, and I'm like, no, no, bro, the story's almost over. She falls to her knees, Kyoshi falls, and she's got a little more resistance to poison, so she stands up, but then basically everyone falls down, and then the story says that the poison has different effects on everybody's body. The boy goes into cardiac arrest and dies. So basically, the last thing they say on the chapter is she crawls over to feel that to see if he still has a heartbeat, which he doesn't. And so I'm like, okay, well, she's going to get resuscitated. I didn't even think of him dying. I'm like, clearly he's not going to die. It's the Avatar. You know what I'm saying? Main character is not going to die like that unless it's like the beginning or the end of the story. So
they said, "Hold my beer."
The next chapter, they go a little like 2-day time skip, and then it says they buried such and such, and I'm like, buried? I'm like, hold on. I had to pause it, stop the car, and like think for a second. I was like, yo, they buried.
He said, I had to pause it and pull over on the side of the road for a second.
And I was doing security patrol, so I'm in a parking lot. Like, I'm like, wait, they buried. I'm like, he was supposed to come back. He's from the slums. His brother, like his background story is basically his brother was hung up because they stole moldy food to survive. And this is what the Avatar was supposed to fix. But the Avatar only helped mostly the nice and rich people. It didn't help. And that's what Kyoshi's so great, because she wanted to help the slums. They for punishment, to use them as an example, when they got caught stealing moldy food, the brother was hung up in one of those hanging, like Pirates of the Caribbean,
those cages,
steel cages. But this happened to be the dry season. So he was starved and he basically died. But the entire week, the character that died, which name was Lek, spent that whole week throwing rocks at the like chain link to try and break it. And people were laughing at him, saying you're never gonna do it, stuff like that, while his brother's up there starving. And it was pretty crazy. So then that's why he had perfect accuracy as an earthbender, like on some the King of Ba Sing Se stuff. And it came from that. They explained that backstory, which was sad as hell. So basically when he died, I was like, bro, he was supposed to see Kyoshi's gonna be the Avatar, which means she's gonna be rich, and he's supposed to see the good life. He didn't even get a chance to see. I'm like, it was so sad, man. And he was still young. So basically they capture Rangi, who's now her lover, and this firebender. And if you know firebenders, their hair is like, when they do something that's like of the greatest honor, basically a seppuku is them chopping off their top knot for firebenders. So she wakes up to Rangi's top knot chopped off on the ground, and that's her lover. And she's like, if you want to see Rangi, come meet me, who's the guy who she's been trying to get vengeance from in this place. So basically the end of the story. She goes to the place, and then right when she's about to meet him, they get into like this standstill of earthbending because she's strong now. But nobody knows, because they're like she's holding like the whole building from falling down, and he's trying to collapse it and kill everyone to make sure she comes back with him, because he knows that she wants to save the people. Basically, out of nowhere, Yoon, who was the first Avatar who got killed by the spirit, walks in and kills Jinju right in front of her. Plot twist. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so after that, it's over. Book over. So I'm like, wow.
Book over.
This is so good. And mind you, that's only the end that I told you, not later. I'm telling this story is definitely better than Aang's story. And mind you, he came in, used like a little sliver of flint right through his neck, walked out. Nobody noticed. Dude just fell over and dead. And that was her vengeance. Fell apart in front of her. But I don't have too much more to say. But in the second book, you find out that the spirit that grabbed him possessed him. That's what we think, at least. So now he's coming back to get vengeance on all the people that told him he was the Avatar and wasn't, which are now Kyoshi's friends, because only Jinju wasn't her friend. But Jinju was like manipulating everyone against her. So now that's like the antagonist of the second book, which is so cool, because he comes back and everyone loves him. Rangi even loved him. Everyone, he was like super handsome. Kyoshi was in love with him. So like everyone's like, wow, you're back. And he causes a scene and murders a noble in front of everyone. So like when it comes back,
murder.
Yeah. So sorry to rant a little long about that, but I was so excited to finish that book. The ending was so good. And I really can't wait. If anybody out there wants to read that. I really can't wait for them to animate some Kyoshi after this Avatar movie, because man, I'll give y'all another rant after I finish book 2.
I was about to say, no, that sounds dope.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
It's really dope, bro. I'm surprised. They have Avatar Roku and Yang Chen as well, so I might do those just because this one was so good.
Okay.
Nice.
I did end up finally finishing Squid Games this weekend.
Cool.
Because I didn't watch
nothing.
I didn't watch the finale last weekend when I was originally watching it, because my folks was like, come over here, we're all going to watch it together. It's like, cool. And I called them this weekend and they were out of town. I was like, well, I only got the last episode to watch. I'm just watching, get it over with. So yeah, so I watched it. So enjoyed.
Fell off a little bit. I haven't really heard nobody talk about it.
I know, right?
Looking forward to what's coming in the future. I'll leave it there for you to see it for yourself. But
they announced they're gonna do like 3 spinoffs or something.
Oh god.
They said they're gonna do like, I can't remember what it was, but something about like multiple spinoffs.
They're doing USA, and I can't remember the other ones that they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing a USA one, and then something like a long time ago, like Squid Games before like Modern Tech or something like that.
Probably like the first games or something like that. I can
Something
see
like it. They said something like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
I haven't heard much of anybody talk about it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It was wild. I'll say it was wild. But after the way season 2 ended, like you had to expect season 3 was going to be a tough watch, and it was. So,
what season was the best season?
I've been
season 1. Just say
no, I'm not gonna say season 1. I'm not gonna say season 1.
Why? Because you think it wasn't the best one, or you don't want to say it?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I believe. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I believe it.
I know him.
I don't know if
you
I
don't have to believe it. But
So
season 1 had the games, had the original games, like the whole thing and a conclusion of it, and then the cliffhanger to lead you into thinking there was going to be more games, which I talked about last time. I hate when they destroy the game so quickly because we could at least see it ran through twice, and then usually it's destroyed halfway through in the second time.
Well, I like that aspect in season 2. We're having somebody there that kind of knew what was going on and trying to get everybody like to follow his lead.
Too. I just wish they finished the games.
Well, it ended the way that you hated when they had the big shootout trying to get out the games, and at the end of season 2, it doesn't work. And nope, it's going back into the games and finish. I will say season 3 has a treacherous game. Sorry, hide and seek? No. In no way, shape, or form. No hide and seek. No. That was a tough one. That was the toughest game I probably say overall to watch. That hide and seek one was a tough one. Good, but bad for a lot of people.
Is it better than Alice in Borderlands yet?
No, Alice in Borderlands is still my favorite.
Is Alice in Borderlands your favorite? Is it better?
I'll answer that after the last season drops because it's 3 seasons of Alice in Borderland.
Well, which one right now?
And I've never seen. I never had a chance to finish season 2 yet of Alice.
I didn't finish. I only watched episode 1, I think, or barely episode 1. But yeah, I liked Alice in Borderlands concept better. What I didn't like about Squid Games was, which I really do like it, but what I didn't like was the fact that they shot everybody. Because when I first saw the show and they were dropping trailers and stuff like that, I thought people were gonna die by like dropping them in acid or like hanging them or you know what I'm saying, spear through the neck. And it was like,
I get that.
People failed it.
Bam. But I feel like that gunshot just became terrifying itself. Like
it did. I'm not saying it didn't.
You just hear that bam, that one shot.
I'm not saying it didn't. But I'm saying that's why Alice in Borderlands was better for me because the way you died was different. It was like it wasn't just a straight up gunshot execution. Yeah.
But I think that comes out in either September or August, the final season of that. So I plan on be fully caught up by then, so I can watch the last season of that.
Okay, yeah, I will be too.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll watch it all when it comes out.
Yeah. Enough of that. Let us get out of here for the evening. I know we have things to eat, do, and such. Go catch up on some more animes and such. But before we get out of here, let me just remind everybody that we have our show Lotus Snacks Weekly every Tuesday at 8:30. We do that live for everybody where we talk about what's happening in pop culture. We have the Finisher podcast, which is bi-weekly, which means every other Saturday. I believe they have an episode coming out this Saturday coming up with all this wrestling going on. So it's going to be a lot of wrestling content you'll see coming out over Lotus Snacks channel and also on their own, the Finisher podcast Instagram page. So look for that. And you get us every Thursday at 10 a.m. right here with this. And if you want to, you can hang out with us in Discord on the weekends and watch anime with us. Usually late night, we're watching something, hang out in Discord together. And also, for people who may want to join Patreon and check out for yourselves, and for Patreon members out there watching, we are getting ready to record our top animes of the spring season. So hopefully we can get that done this week. So look forward to that coming in the very near future so we can let you know what we thought was the best show of the spring season.
Oh, yeah, I need to make that template.
Yeah, so we do all that stuff. Yeah, so look forward to that in the very near future. But I think that covers everything for now. So Noah, go ahead and get us out of here.
All right. Y'all catch us on Patreon up top. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully there's some more anime news left because I gave it all to you. Hopefully we have another topic. And hopefully London reads some damn Chainsaw Man so we can move on.
I will this week.
It's okay. We'll make up for it in the amount of first episodes we're all about to watch.
Oh, yeah. That's very true. Yeah, one or the other. Yeah. One of those two will be happening. Either I'll be watching a lot more first or reading a lot more Chainsaw Man. And if I can somehow figure it out with all this wrestling, I'll do both. Yeah.
He should just
Sounds
stop
good.
the wrestling.
That I agree. Until then, peace.
Bye.
So
Loading snacks.